of strength inside our hearts, it's all connected. We're all together in this love, don't you forget it. We're all connected in this, I'm yours forever. There is no end in sight for us, nothing could measure the kind of strength inside our hearts, it's all connected. We're all together in this love, don't you forget it. We're all connected in this love. There is no end in sight for us. We're all connected in this love. Beyond the storms and the seas, the sun and the breeze, the stars and the galaxy. Beyond the time that we take, the days that we make, I'm always gonna be with you. I'm yours forever. There is no end in sight for us, nothing could measure the kind of strength inside our hearts, it's all connected. We're all together in this love, don't you forget it. We're all connected in this, I'm yours forever. There is no end in sight for us, nothing could measure the kind of strength inside our hearts, it's all connected. We're all together in this love, don't you forget it. We're all connected in this love. We're all connected in this love.
Close your eyes so you see my vision. Unite the souls so there's no division. Look into the future, we see all seasons. Aiming for the top, but what's the reason? Hands to the sky and realize we're free. We become the legends we were meant to be. Now open your eyes and you will see. I can lead you home, just follow me.
motherfucking trailer.
Hey guys, does anyone have notes?
Would you like to see Gorosaurus versus Man, the solo trilogy from Toho? No, I would not, because nobody gives a shit about those two monsters. So let's be real, honestly. With the exception of a handful of Toho monsters, a lot of them really suck.
Whatever it takes to stop the motherfucking lie.
Look at this guy's got glasses. Oh, it's a sophisticated zombie.
I heard Rodan's in here. I don't know if I don't know if I missed him.
I missed Rodan. On top of the volcano, I missed Rodan. Flying over the water, I missed Rodan. He's been confirmed, established 2014, right here on E.T.N motherfucking N. I have only ever loved one woman.
And it ain't you, bitch. Poof. Bye-bye. Have a nice trip. See you next fall, because winter's coming.
I figured, I thought it was pretty good. I thought I liked it. I enjoyed it. And number one is Godzilla. Godzilla?
Motherfucking trailer.
Oh boy. What a day. On a Wednesday of all times. Isn't that weird? It is weird. All right. You know, I gotta say, doing this for 10 years, every time there's Godzilla news, I feel like it's Groundhog's Day. I do. Because the minute the news drops, all hell breaks loose and people start saying the craziest shit in the world. And I want to take a new approach. Let's stick with what we know. Let's keep it simple. Let's not overinflate the expectations. I've already seen in chat. Oh, we might see Kamakuris. We might see Kumar. And no. You know why? No one gives a shit about those monsters. Let's just stick to what we know. And right now, what we know is there's another big gorilla. or an orangutan, whatever you want to call it. Until I see a Kamacuras, until I see a Kumanga or a Destroyer or whatever the hell else, then we'll go from that point. Let's stick to the facts. Yeah. People are saying there are 3 villains. Oh, Jesus, here we fucking go.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop you fucking lying.
I mean, really? We get one little 15-second teaser trailer and people have deduced that there are 3 villains? What is this? How do you... All right, let's pull this up. Because I was going to pull it up anyway, because obviously we wanna take a close look at this. It's a cool little 20-second title reveal. I like it. Clearly, it's trending on YouTube, because when you type it in search, it's the second thing that comes up. All right, let's... Did Dangerville really do a teaser breakdown? That's pretty funny. All right, let's look at this here. All right, obviously I can't play the trailer, but 35 seconds. Let's try and get as close to this guy as possible. Whoop. All right, that's good enough. Whoever thinks that these villains is really overreacting. Is anybody on Twitter saying that? Like, is that going around on Twitter? Let's check the Twitters. Oh, Jesus. What? All right, let me check something here. All right. Okay, so I don't see anyone saying that on Twitter. So I'm wondering if it just all right, too many let me see here. It might be one of the gargantuas. Can we just slow down? Can we just slow down? Can we slow down? This 5 minutes without mentioning any other monsters. Let's just slow down for like 1.5 seconds, please. Oh, Jesus. You guys how can you take a 35-second teaser and overextend it to 3 villains and one of the gargantuas? Honestly. All right. Let's switch over. Okay, first of all, and let's say something else too. I know there's a lot of Gargantua fans. I get it. All right, I get it. They're not important enough to make as a main villain in a movie. They're not. if I'm going to invest money in another MonsterVerse project and I got to pay Toho to use one of their IPs, the last thing I'm going to waste my money on is a Gargantua. When you have still Destroyer available, you still have Biollante available, and you still have the rights to Ghidorah and possibly Mechagodzilla, I'm going to push all that aside so I can get a Gargantua. All right. Come on. All right. So let's slowly take a look, since I can't actually play it, but I'm going to scan through it because I've seen it twice, but I really haven't taken a hardcore look to see if there's any other bones in there recognizable. I mean, I could tell you one thing. I mean, a lot of people are talking about how skinny he looks and this and that. I guarantee you this is a big boy. I guarantee you he is much bigger than Godzilla and Kong in terms of height. And just because he's lanky doesn't mean he's not strong or firm. That means his weight is evenly distributed. Yeah, I mean, I see a bunch of carcasses as they zoom back. And the only notable ones, obviously, are Godzilla and Kong skulls. Now, what I really want to do is read the synopsis. All right, which we're going to do here. The latest entry in the MonsterVerse franchise follows up the explosive showdown of Godzilla vs. Kong with an all-new cinematic adventure pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging their very existence and our own. The epic new film will delve further into the histories of these titans, their origins, and their mysteries of Skull Island and beyond, while uncovering the mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and tied them to humankind forever. So look, that synopsis right there tells you that the main villain is one big baddie. So even if there are other monsters they fight, I don't think you can include them as a second or a third big bad. What I call that is story fodder. In other words, those are monsters that they might run into on the Hollow Earth that they're just going to kick the shit out of and keep it moving. You're going to get a Godzilla vs. Kong rematch. That's a guarantee. This movie is not going to have a Godzilla vs. Kong rematch. All right? And it's going to be the same story. It's going to be the same kind of process as the last movie. They're going to bicker and fight again, and there's going to be a bigger threat that they're going to be forced to team up. It's not going to be anything any different. So, hope all is well. I hope you saw my milestone chat. That is funny. Thank you for that, by the way. Thank you for that. And thank you for the $4.99. So yeah, I don't think there's anything. Now, could this be a
You are one awesome motherfucker.
Could this be a possible decoy or a possible I don't know why it's reading that so late. Could it be a possible misdirect? Maybe. I don't think it is. And I'm not saying there's not going to be any other monsters in the movie. I want to make that very clear. I'm not saying there's not going to be any other monsters. I just don't think they're going to be and there may not be, but I don't think they're going to be as elevated as whoever this villain is. If this is indeed the villain, there is always a small chance that it's not, but I doubt they would do their first big reveal of the title and tease something like this and not follow up on it. What is the third villain's thing from? I get we got this lanky Kong guy and space. Whoa. Whoever said you're getting SpaceGodzilla? Whoever said you're not getting SpaceGodzilla? What, are you kidding me? The colossal threat is from under the earth, and you think we're going to get a space monster? I mean, it clearly says from within the earth. I know people saw that image. I want to make this very clear. Maybe some people don't know this still. That image of the flying Godzilla, or whatever you want to consider that came from an art book. And all that is concept. Just because it's in an art book does not mean it's going to come out in the next movie. In fact, 9.5 times out of 10, it does not make it to film. I don't know why that speculation keeps carrying weight, and I don't even know why people would want SpaceGodzilla. He's literally one of the worst Godzilla villains ever created. Yeah, SpaceGodzilla, that's right, Matai. And SpaceGodzilla, that rumor started because anyone who has the art book has, I mean, I have the art book. We can look at the image right now. But that image, a lot of people are looking at, if they don't have the art book, I think they're thinking that that is going to be the, and you know what? It might be the next villain. It still may not be SpaceGodzilla. Oh, if it was Zebra, I would boycott. I'm so tired of hearing about SpaceGodzilla. How can that big ass monkey be a threat to humanity and the Titans? I think the question is, I mean, whatever the case may be, that big monkey has glowing eyes. Like, this could be the very species that killed a Godzilla back in the day and actually forged that axe. Did you ever think about that? You know what I mean? I mean, if Kong was in possession of the axe, which was present in the Kong temple, where clearly the Kong species was reigning over, then it is possible that this could be the very Kong or the very Titan that killed the Godzilla back in the day. So let's not immediately dismiss it, because I'm telling you right now, this is a 35-second teaser, and all he's doing is sitting on the throne. That's all he's doing. He's not moving. He's not roaring. We don't even get a clear picture of him. Rob, you think the monkey is a rival species to Kong or a descendant of Kong? You know what I think it is? I think it's a Kongzilla. That's what I think. For all the jokes that were made about a Kongzilla back in the day, I think they actually did one. Now, I don't think he's going to have features that look like Godzilla, but apparently he must have the powers, because his eyes are glowing blue, and there's only one monster that does that so far in the Monsterverse. I'm going to name him the Ancient Kong or the Ancient One. Rob, when do you think the first main trailer comes out? Probably at the end of the year. A Godzilla and Kong bred was killed, left as orphans, hated both species. Nah, I don't think it's that simple. Ancient Chad Kong. No, and I'm not saying, I know there's people out there who like SpaceGodzilla, but you guys are in the minority. It's got to be King Caesar. No, it doesn't. The thing doesn't even have any, first of all, it doesn't have ears. Okay? So that is one of King Caesar's like main features. And if MonsterVerse has done something good, is they've at least kept the spirit of how the monsters look. This already, the silhouette tells you it's not King Caesar. We need to let go of Toho monsters because I think those days might be over. And understandably, if you're gonna bring in Toho monsters, you got to pay money. That money comes from your budget to make the movie. The less money in your budget you have, the less chance you have of making a sequel. You got to remember the MonsterVerse has for the most part been successful, but it hasn't exactly been a cash cow. It's been profitable, but it's not a cash cow. So they still need to be very conservative about how they invest their budget. You can't go around every movie spending $5, $10, $15 million on the rights to another monster. After a while, you just got to stop. And to be quite frank, they've already brought over the monsters they needed to. They don't really need to bring over anymore. I mean, I still would like to see Destroyer and Biollante, but if they never came over, I'm fine with that. At some point, they need to take some of their own creations. At some point, they need to take some of their own creations and bring them front and center. I mean, they have a great roster of monsters that they've hardly ever used. I mean, think about how popular Behemoth is, and yet we have yet to see him for more than 45 seconds total. If they had even expanded on Behemoth just a little bit, and they still might, maybe in the show, they could have leveraged that. So I think I'm not saying there won't be a total, nobody knows. I don't know anything. I'm just giving you my assessment based on facts beyond what we're just looking at on screen. Like, you can't just look at this and say, all right, well, 3 villains and 2 of them are Toho monsters. Like, where do you even get that from? Think about where the series has gone. Think about where it started and where it is now. Yes, it is successful. Yes, maybe we'll get another movie after this one. I'm still on the fence about that. But these movies are not like Marvel money-making movies. These are very conservative, good cash flow. That's what you can call it. You can call the MonsterVerse a good cash flow. Moderately successful, good cash flow. Can't go in there spending hundreds of millions of dollars on production. You got these big Marvel movies and all that. They spend $280, $300 million to make their movie. The MonsterVerse cannot do that. The MonsterVerse can't do that. The MonsterVerse has to stay within the 150, maybe at most 200, which they haven't hit yet. I think the most they've gone is 180. So, it costs money to invest in Toho monsters. You know what I mean? It's not like they got the rights to Godzilla and every other monster is on the docket for that. Every monster comes at an individual cost. Even the fodder monsters that are worth a shit. Like if they wanted to just do a Kamacuras cameo, yeah, they got to pay for that. This is one of the reasons why you haven't seen Anguirus yet. As popular and as much as people love Anguirus, look, I've said it before and I'll say it a million times. He's a shit monster. Like, he looks cool, he sounds cool, but let's look at his track record in movies. The guy is known for running headfirst into a buzzsaw. All right, he's a comical monster. He's not necessarily badass. Every time I recall seeing him, he gets his ass handed to him. So they did some justice to him. They showed his carcass in 2019 for a half a second. Or what looked to be his carcass. You can't officially call it Anguirus because it's not. But I mean, clearly they were sending a message. He ain't coming. He ain't coming. If you show, because let's be real. When 2019 was coming out, a lot of people were like, oh, but where's Anguirus? Anguirus. If you think these guys in the studio and the marketing team don't hear that, you're kidding yourself. They heard it. They said, okay, let's shut this down. Let's put a quick, like half a second scene of Anguirus' carcass, and hopefully they get the message. I got the message pretty clearly.
You are one awesome motherfucker.
Oatmeal, chocolate, or vanilla? Oatmeal and chocolate. One or the other. One of the three. Vanilla.
Rip, that is really unfair. Angus is just a bit, special. Cut him some slack. This new Kong does look like it can break Godzilla's jaw. He's got longer arms than Kong, that's for sure. He's got longer arms than Kong. All right, I was giving the guy a chance to read that, but he didn't. I could realistically see 500 million or possibly more when this hits theaters next year. Yeah. I mean, it's coming out in March, so it has a chance to make more, but I would say realistically between 6 and 7. I think that's probably its floor and its ceiling, between 6 and 7. 500 is a little low. I would expect it to do better than that, considering some of the other movies in the series have done better than that. So, I mean, Godzilla vs. Kong, even while being streamed, did over 400 million. And it was available for streaming when it came out. So 400 million is quite a payout for a movie that was available to watch at home for free. All right, so let me move forward a little bit more. Yeah, and then at this point we see the Godzilla and Kong skulls. I mean, this clearly tells me, in my opinion, that this monster, whether you want to call it a Kong species, an orangutan, or maybe it's something completely different that might come off looking like a Kong, but it really isn't. It's just a beast, a colossal beast. Clearly has had interactions with these two species before and clearly has destroyed them. I think the axe from Godzilla vs. Kong is evidence of that. I think the Godzilla, well, not necessarily the Godzilla carcass from 2014, because we knew how that died. But if you read the history, if you have the art book, and if you read the novelization for Godzilla vs. Kong, in the early part of that book, it goes into more detail about a war. My only thing is, and this is where the Monsterverse gets a little bit, he ain't coming as he's shooting blanks. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Steve. I appreciate it. I think the timing of that, this wasn't good. What was I gonna say? Actually, let's just make that official. Just a bit outside. All right. The only thing is, and this is where the criticism comes in for the Monsterverse, is obviously the continuity, obviously some holes. If I recall correctly, when they talked about the ancient war, all right, in the book, she never, the person talking about it is, what's her name again? I forgot her name in the movie, but basically Jaya's like unadopted mother, or mother figure, I should say. I know somebody would put her name in chat, which is fine. You know who I'm talking about, though. So when she goes into detail about the war, she doesn't necessarily mention that there was a larger beast. The war specifically was between Godzilla and Kong and their factions, so to speak. So this is just something else they're throwing into the mix. So they might make it come across as, oh, well, you know, this monster, we didn't know about it. There was no record of it. Now it's here. I think that's what you're going to get. Yeah, Eileen, thank you. I think that's what you're going to get in this movie. This is, and to some extent they say that in the synopsis. But yeah, this is going to be a new species nobody knew about. It's going to come out of the woodworks. It's going to find Kong. And if it is a Kong species, why, when every other Kong species besides Kong himself was wiped out by the skull crawlers, how did this one survive? All right, that's if it's a Kong species. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think this is, maybe it's a species that can mimic monsters of some sort. I mean, that would be a little bit too out there, but I'm not, look, after Mechagodzilla, I'm not putting anything against the writers. So the blue eyes is a tell that something's off. Maybe drank a little kaiju blue, right? Or maybe they're gonna introduce that nectar from the Kong movie, and this guy's been chugging it hundreds of years, and that's why he is the way he is. If he's the villain, he has to be bigger. I think he is bigger. I think he is bigger. I don't think, based on the description of the synopsis, he's gonna be bigger. It says in the synopsis, Godzilla and Kong have to team up against a colossal. Colossal means huge, and I think that's why people are underestimating what they're looking at. You got to read the synopsis and put the picture in context a little bit. Remember, you're not seeing him next to Godzilla and Kong. There's no way they're gonna make those two fight a monster that's gonna be bigger. That's not gonna be bigger than them. So while he may look lanky or he may look on the thinner side, that's not going to matter if he's like 50 feet taller than them. I honestly think this is a throw off to the big bad. That is, I'm not ruling it out, but I think that's a distant possibility. Wouldn't shock me if it's a League of Titans. I'm not. I guess it depends on the length of the movie, but if they're aiming to keep it around the same length as Godzilla vs. Kong, and if this movie is not necessarily about them fighting the whole time, I don't see where there's a whole hell of a lot of room for other monsters other than quick cameos, which is why I think you will get other monsters, but I think they're going to be fodder. I think you'll get something like watching Kong, like maybe watching Kong traverse through.
40G subscribed to the channel.
Thank you for subbing. I think you'll get, for example, let's say a scene with Kong traversing the Hollow Earth and he runs into a different monster and he's got to fight it and he kills it. And another scene where like Godzilla makes his way to the Hollow Earth for the first times in millions of years or whatever, or however long, and he runs into a monster and dispatches it. Like, I think that's the kind of stuff you're gonna get. Are we getting baby Godzilla? I hope not. Hey Rob, we should also talk about the title New Empire. Feels like it could be a multiple film storyline, no? Yeah, it could. I'm not gonna put any weight on that simply because I do think the series is nearing an end at some point. Whether it's this movie or one more. But I don't know. I get a feeling this is it, personally. But, you know, I'm hoping to be wrong. I was wrong last time, so that's good, because now there's another movie. This is why I think you're getting stuff like the TV show and more comics, because I do think that's the direction they're going to go in after the movie, after the movies. Interested if this will set up for more MonsterVerse, or if they'll kind of keep it movie to movie like they have so far. Yeah, we'll have to see. It really all depends on whether or not they continue the series. Rob, what's your thoughts on them introducing a primordial to the Monsterverse? A primordial? Sorry, you have to be more specific. I'm not very keen on detailed scientific names for these monsters. What's going on, Chris? The title New Empire is... The title New Empire is open-ended. It could mean anything. Yeah, it could mean Kong's New Empire in the Hollow Earth. It could very well mean that. If the movie makes enough money, it'll definitely mean more sequels. Well, yeah, of course. At the end of the day, money talks. That's a guarantee. That's a no-brainer. Oh, thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Yeah, actually, I do. I got one.
Brought the bottles back in so the trash people won't take them.
Yeah. Three villain monsters is overkill. I don't think there's going to be three villain monsters. I don't know where that started. All right, I think since the movie is titled The New Empire, do you think Kong earns it? Well, yeah, I just said that a second ago. Rob, maybe you can reach out to Cougar and see if he has any insights. Well, yeah, I could do that. We spoke about, not too long ago, we spoke about getting together. I mean, I'm not going to do it right now. I mean, this is not going to be a full-fledged stream. We're not staying on for 2 hours or more. KDM is... he is, I guess, journalist, and he's been following the movie closely. He has credible information. So, I mean, if he said that there's going to be three villains, then I'm more likely to believe it. But I checked his Twitter feed, and he didn't say anything about three villains. So I don't know if somebody's calling that KDM said that. I didn't see it on his Twitter feed. You're going to have to provide me with more evidence. Rob, damn, sorry I'm late. I was hoping you would go live after the announcement. No, I was working. I work. I can't do live streams while I'm on the clock. Yeah, I gotta keep the main job. You guys know I don't do YouTube for money. I do it as a hobby. So. There'll probably be two villain titans, the new Kong that Kong will have to face, and another one that Godzilla will have to face. No, guys, read the synopsis. They have to face one monster together. The synopsis is pretty clear, and it's been consistently like that for over a year now. As I said earlier, any other monsters you get that they fight are not going to be considered main villains. It's just going to be fodder. There's going to be monsters in the Hollow Earth. It's going to give them an opportunity to put Kong and or Godzilla into a fight where they can quickly dispatch a monster for our entertainment. But you're not going to get beyond this singular colossal threat, which is quoted directly from the synopsis. You're not going to get another big baddie. No. Side villain means Warbat, Skullcrawler, etc. Exactly. Maybe this Kong creature is something from the past and has no involvement in the present day of the movie. Well, yeah, again, read the synopsis. It's exactly what it says. It is from the past. It's not a gargantuan, guys. Unlikely for many reasons. Rob, it could be a 2-part movie with a title like New Empire. It could end on a cliffhanger, and the next movie could be the final movie, kind of like how Infinity War. I wouldn't bet on that. I mean, yeah, look, anything is possible. I'm not completely dismissing that idea, But I'm less inclined to see that happening. Are you making coffee? Oh, okay, that's what I smell. Probably Camazot's bats as side characters as well. Yeah, I think if you do see a second villain, Camazot's is a good chance because I don't think he ever died in the comic. Yeah, that's more or less the synopsis, yeah. There's some word changing, but the message is still the same, KL. If it was a 2-part movie, they would have filmed it together. That's another case to be made.
You are one awesome motherfucker. Stephen Miller super chatted $9.99. I only hope this is all legendary reveals until late 2023. I don't want the hype train started so early like they did with Cotton.
Thanks for the 10, Steve. Yeah, and I think you're pretty much get that. I don't think we're going to see a full-fledged trailer until, like... Well, I'll put it this way. Whenever they announce the Monarch show or the Godzilla show, whatever they're going to fucking title that, which I'm guessing within the next week they'll probably reveal the title for that show if they already revealed the title for the movie. So stand by for that. I guarantee you within the next week we're going to get the title for the Monarch show, for the Apple Plus TV show. So whenever they announce that show, it's going to be 10 episodes. All right. So from the last episode, I would count 4 to 6 weeks out, and you'll get the movie trailer, because that show is probably going to drop in the beginning of the fall. That was I spoke about this like a couple of months ago when we were talking about the show, and we always talk about the trailer. Somebody always asks about the trailer. That always comes up. And from what I've been told, from what I understand, and this is according to KDM, the show is supposed to directly link to this movie. Even though it's based in the past, there is some correlation with the show and the movie. And their plan is to have it streamlined right into the movie after the show. So what I'm saying is, you're going to get since the movie's coming out in March 2024, usually the longest they wait to start marketing is 3 months out. So if you take 3 months out, you're looking at mid-December. All right. If you give the show time to breathe so people can talk about it and continue to be excited about how the show was, if it's good, you're going to give them a 4 to 6 week window to kind of let them calm down before you bring them up again. So if the show, let's say, comes out in September and it's 10 episodes, so you're looking at September, October, November. I mean, you're still cutting close. You're still looking at mid-December till it's over. So I'm telling you, it's going to be late 2020. It's going to be later on this year. I'll be surprised if they do anything for Comic-Con other than something similar to this where you get a little teaser. I'll be surprised if we get any major news from now to the end of the year. However, what you can guarantee that you're going to get are toy leaks. And toy leaks are going to spell it all. It's going to be the summer of spoilers for toy leaks, because those toys are going to have to get promoted and get ready to be shipped out to stores and all that at least 6 months before the movie comes out minimum. So if you want information on a movie, look for the toy leaks. That's where you're going to get it. I don't know if the Apple TV show sets up the villain. It very well might. Something urges me. This is a place is hell, and whatever light there is around a skull means it's still alive. And I believe this villain is here to kill both of them. Yeah. I mean it's certainly not there to play tennis with them. So I think there to kill them is a guarantee. One of the biggest reasons King of the Monsters underperformed is the ad campaign was way too long. Yeah. Yep. Could this be the world serpent we heard rumors about? You know what? Good point, Kaiju. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, it doesn't look like a serpent. Yeah, it looks like a primate of some sort. Yeah, I don't see anything scaly. Looks hairy. I don't see like a snake type body. It looks like it has some legs, 2 arms. Yeah, I could be wrong, but not the serpent. Yeah, I'm just guessing. You know, I mean, I could be wrong, and clearly, you know, I've been wrong in the past. So let's not completely dismiss the fact that this could be the world serpent. Yeah, thanks, Jess. They were saying Dr. Andrews is her name in the movie. That's what I was trying to remember. A serpent with arms robbed the future is now. It is. This dude is watching Hollow Earth News for 1 billion years. So another Kong is the main villain. On surface level, it appears that way. I am inclined to believe that while this looks very much like it could be another Kong, I'm willing to bet that it is something different. Again, it's easy. I'm looking at this right here, and there's some elements of that don't even look like a gorilla or even an orangutan for that matter. It almost looks like it has a kind of hunchback. I don't know. I think the silhouette, I could see why it being a Kong is easy to deduce, but something tells me that's just a play on the silhouette when you look at it. It could be a Kong relative that started the Godzilla versus Kong war. He literally has the build of Tanky Kong, the hunch and everything. Yeah. I just... remember, I've been doing this for 10 years. Everything is not always what it seems when it comes to these movies. It's just not. I don't know why people are saying he's all skinny. I mean, look at this muscle right here. I have a feeling this dude's going to be quite big. Go further into the teaser after the title reveal. It looks a lot like Kong. Oh, you know what? I don't remember seeing that. Oh, wait a minute. That's right, because the eyes. That's what had thrown me off before. Unless this is his
awesome motherfucker.
His hair is, I don't know. Maybe that is Kong.
Bobby Reynolds super chatted $10. I'm excited to see Braun Strowman next Terry take the new Empire with Omos as the villain.
I don't know how to react to that. Yeah, actually, the other thing too is it could just very well be Kong. It could be like Kong all jacked up. But then again, his arms are they're a little too skinny for Kong. Kong's got some big ass arms. But then why would there be a Kong skull in the beginning of the trailer or in the middle of the trailer? Like, why would we show Kong's skull if this is Kong? Because the hair color is the same too as Kong. The hair color is the same. Maybe a little bit lighter. I don't know. Kong has dark brown fur. Yeah, no, you're right. But the thing of it is, the reason the hair looks like that could be because of the lighting, because it's all red around him. So, you know, just little things like that you got to take into consideration. We need Adam Wingard to confirm. It could be Kong's ex-wife looking to give knobbers. Steve, why are you so horny today? The hair could be red. I think it could be the light too. It could be anything. It's so ambiguous. Until they drop a trailer, we ain't never gonna find out. Well, unless you want to look at leaks and keep reading about SpaceGodzilla, but looks like something's in his left hand. Nah, it looks like he's like this, like his fist is down, like he's sitting on a throne. Yeah, that's his arm, because look how big his arm is here. Those are a lot of Titan carcasses. I wish we had more clarity as to what some of them are. I wonder if one of them is Anguirus. Kong's body looks more like a bodybuilder, but this new ape creature looks more like a basketball player. What if it's the first Kong of Kongs species?
You are one awesome
possible, I suppose.
Bobby Reynolds super chatted $10. Godzilla as Braun Strowman, Kong as Terry Tate the office linebacker, and this orangutan guys as Omos, that big 7'3" wrestler from WWE.
Yeah, I guess if you wanted to assign WWE wrestlers to the monsters, you could go that route. I got a feeling it's a way more powerful subspecies of the Kong species. It's definitely, if it's the main villain, which I think it might very well be. Yeah, it's clearly going to be stronger. I also think it's going to be bigger. We can't tell that from here because we have nothing to compare it to, but if I'm a betting man, I'm betting this is going to be a big ass monster. I'm talking like at least 25 feet taller than Godzilla and Kong. Rob, what if this is in the past war between the Kongs of... Wait. Rob, what if this in the past of war between the Kongs and Godzilla... I'm sorry, you gotta kind of be a little bit more clarification. Are you asking what if this monster was part of the war? I'm pretty sure it was. When they release the trailer, do you think they're going to reveal the it? Do you think they're going to reveal it? I guess you put the by accident. They might as well. They did it here for the most part. They revealed Ghidorah in his trailer. Mechagodzilla was easy to see in the beginning of the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, so I don't see why they wouldn't show him. The Gargantua is confirmed. All right, set yourself up for disappointment because it certainly ain't a Gargantua. Kong's got thicker arms, but not longer. Kong's arms are not as long as this guy, which also tells you how tall he is. Nobody can type today. Hold on, is that throne even the same throne in Godzilla vs. Kong? It is not, because there were not that many carcasses there. All you really see are rib cages and femurs. I would also like to put out there that the color has been a very important factor in these movies, and the ending bright purple color is likely an indication of something new. Well, yeah, you're right. The colors have been very important and representative of the monsters. Godzilla's always been blue. Kong has always been red, but also I think for Mechagodzilla it was more like an orange blue. With like, I can't even describe it, but in the opening title sequence for Godzilla vs. Kong, within the title was Mechagodzilla's represented color. I'm not going to see a movie where they fight the Gargantua. They're not going to fight the Gargantuas. The Gargantuas are not going to be in this. Yeah, Godzilla in the very first movie it was red, and then he went to blue, and then Kong got to red. That's right, Tim. This ain't Gargantua's, guys. Who says this is the villain? It could be the evil Kiwi tribe, maybe using this Kong. You mean the Iwi? I was gonna say, is that a K? All right, so you just type Kiwi by accident. Okay, this Kong and the real villain kaiju. Who are? Yeah, I mean, again, we could come up with 100 million different scenarios as to what this represents. I'm taking it at surface level right now. I'm taking it for what it is, which is either a Kong-like species or a beast monster that has a similar build but is not a Kong species. That is just going to wreck Godzilla and Kong. I'm taking it at surface level now until more information comes out. This thing already looks like a waste of a villain. I mean, yeah, if that's your opinion. I mean, I can't sit here and even say it's a waste because it's essentially a 30-second trailer with no context. So he may not have an atomic breath attack, but he may just harbor the same kind of power that Godzilla does, and maybe he uses it in different ways. I'm pretty sure this is the monster that created the Godzilla axe. He's the one that killed the Godzilla and took the dorsal plate and made an axe out of it as a way to protect from the radiation. A Titan blacksmith. Or he just took the dorsal plate and shoved it into a big bone. I mean, these guys are so strong. I don't think they need to actually know how to meld and mold iron, or for that matter, anything. I'm pretty sure he ripped off the dorsal plate and shoved it into a bone and said, "Yep, this is my axe." Pretty simple. This teaser could be something to throw the fan. It could be. Yep, we did mention that earlier. It could be a complete misdirect. Right, it would be a cool twist to have somewhat of an evil Kong, as Kong has always been benevolent. It would be cool. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing that's possible. It could just very well be Kong. Maybe he got injected with the same blue power that Godzilla has, and it's made him bigger and stronger. But, you know, based on the synopsis and based on the images in the trailer, I don't think that's likely. Thank you for the sponsorship, Tyler. Blue Eyes equals Space Kong. It could also be Kong's new form and just throws everybody off. Yeah, I mean, again, that's another possibility. But considering they really haven't promoted Kong as having any special innate powers, it would be kind of shitty for them to kind of do that now. I really don't think that's Kong. I just don't, even though it looks like him, even though, you know, you got him on the throne, the carcasses, the Kong skull, the Godzilla skull, just suggest to me that this is a version of a Kong, or something that may look like a Kong but is not. It's just, you know, again, it's hard to tell right now. There's not much context here. What's going on, Omni? Humanoid skull crawler. Based on the silhouette and then based on the face shot at the end, I'm going to say no on that one. The director of this movie is Adam Wingard Sasuke. This one could be the leader of a group of whatever species this is. Maybe their empire is the threat Godzilla and Kong have to stop. I think it's going to be a little simpler. I think Kong poses a threat to this monster to take over the Hollow Earth. So this one has awoken up to reclaim the throne, his empire. He's always had an empire, maybe. And Godzilla can't take him out on his own. And if he lets him run on a rampage, he can destroy the planet, whatever. So that's when Godzilla steps in to kind of lend his hand, lend his assistance. This is way too early speculation, but I would prefer a destroyer type of monster to be the villain, but I digress. We get what Wingard will show in March. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rule out Destroyer and any other Toho monsters down the road. Right now, I'm not getting the feeling that we're going to get them in this movie. But, you know, Mechagodzilla shows up for the last 10 minutes of the Godzilla vs. Kong out of nowhere. If you were someone who wasn't paying attention online and watching leaked toy images, you would never know that Mechagodzilla was in the last movie until the very end, or at least until they first show him. So yeah, there's always a chance that those monsters can still be in it. I'm willing to bet that if they want to maximize profits, they're probably going to skip a Toho monster altogether. But I could be wrong. So Son of Kong was scrapped. I don't know if Son of Kong was ever really a thing. I can't wait for them to explain why a Kong is still on the Hollow Earth and how Godzilla never encountered it when it's been using the Hollow Earth to move around. Well, I think this monster, whether it's a Kong or not, remains to be seen. But also, from what I understand, I think it's on the wiki. Let me see if I can pull that up. Give me a second. I remember reading that it is that it gets awoken. It's been in like a deep slumber. It was never discovered. Like, in other words, nobody knows about it. Now, the thing about Godzilla is he can sense monsters when monsters are on the move. As far as I recall.
Slickrick 223 subscribed to the channel.
Thanks for subbing. Let me see. Do, 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 do. Meaning that the new movie is pairing them together instead of putting them in conflict with each other. This doesn't rule out some sort of fight. Yep. That I already said all that. Empire, from the looks of things, the movie will debut a new blue-eyed member of Kong species. Sitting atop a throne, the mysterious creature is surrounded by Titan bones in what is likely a hollow earth chamber. Exactly who he is hasn't been confirmed, but he looks to be a fearsome foe for whoever challenges him, a potential survivor of the war fought between the Godzillas and the Kongs. And the Titan may look to wage war on his ancient enemy and perhaps Kong as well. I mean, again, on surface level, that's what it looks like. We just don't know yet. I also think the reason this is like Kong heavy, like in terms of Kong being in it and another Kong species being a part of it, is also because if they ever want to continue the MonsterVerse going forward without Godzilla, then you got to put Kong front and center. This is why I think the rematch between Godzilla and Kong is Kong's going to be the winner this time. They're going to have one rematch in this movie and Kong's going to be the winner. And then the enemy is a Kong type. I mean, you just see so many different setups for Kong. This can't be an unknown, colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within the Hollow Earth. And that's what they said, more or less. Yeah, a colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within our world. Rob, that's not the main villain. Until there's more information, I'm going to kind of see it that way. Right now, I just want to take it at surface level. I don't want to dig too deep because I've been doing this for 10 years, and most times it's been pretty much what you see is what you get. So I've already heard some people say there's 3 villains. I've already heard people saying it could be another Toho monster. I'm not seeing any signs of that right now, so I'm going to take it for what it is. I don't think this Kong-like monster will be the main threat chances, okay. He'll be a secondary threat in the movie, just a titan that will give Kong a hard time throughout the film. I don't see that. I don't see where you have time to develop two new villain monsters in a movie that you only want to make 2 hours. You have enough time to develop one. I mean, when you look at Godzilla versus Kong, we didn't get any development hardly for Mechagodzilla. He showed up middle end to split a Skullcrawler in half, and then he showed up at the end for like 3 minutes. The whole movie was about Kong finding home. Well, Kong is home now. And if this is going to be Kong and Godzilla teaming up, at most you'll get one battle between Godzilla and Kong, just to kind of like, reestablish their conflict or how they're adversaries. If you're making and you're pitching this, this is what I'm saying. The synopsis is very important for people to read over and over. They're more or less telling you it's one colossal threat. I mean, it says that literally in the synopsis. So if there's one colossal threat, that means any other monsters you see Godzilla and Kong fight, if that happens, is going to be just a fodder fight. It's going to be a monster they run into in passing and that they beat the shit out of.
Subscribed to the channel.
Rob, I think fans are already upset that this is our villain and are in denial, sadly. It's okay as long as the movie is good. I think people judge too early. I mean, even I've been guilty of that. I mean, when I found out that Mechagodzilla was going to be in Godzilla vs. Kong, I was like, this ain't going to work. You guys remember. And it turned out to be awesome. I think you really got to wait to see the movie. You really got to wait. Because until you see it, you really don't know if it's going to be good or bad. Yeah, that's what I believe. I mean, it would be silly of them to make most of the movie in the Hollow Earth and not show other monsters. But in terms of villains, I think they're telling you pretty clearly. I think people are psyching themselves out. I think they're making it pretty clear, based on the synopsis and based on this short teaser, that it is one villain. I think people are overthinking it. I think they're being pretty direct about where this is going. There is that clip in Brazil. Yeah. I don't understand what you're trying to say with that. That clip in Brazil, oh, you mean the people running away on the beach? Yeah, that's Godzilla coming to shore. Or Kong. I don't think it's anything more than that. You'll probably see Doug again. Is there an orangutan in Brazil? Imagine the kind of fights they can do now with another Kong-type monster. The face sort of has cool tattoos on his face. Tattoos? The fuck are you talking about? Where do you see tattoos? I don't see any tattoos. You know what I see? I see a red hue coming from the right that's making his face a little red. Yeah, there's no tattoos. You think it's warping? I just think it's a red hue from the reflection from the red light. I don't think it's tattoos or even warping for that matter. But that's just me. You think there's scars? You know, I really feel like we're I really feel like we're stretching here. I mean, it could be paint, I suppose. Maybe it is. Who knows? I think it's the light, but if it's called a colossal threat and if it's a Kong ape-like creature, would you call it Colossal Kong? If that's, yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to call it, I guess that's cool. Someone posted highly brightened, contrasted pics online, and his face is indeed red. Can't tell if it's the paint or his skin color. Okay. Or, yeah, it could be blood that he put on his face from one of his last victims. You know, it's funny, Azure Realms, I actually thought that too. That it could be like a cannibalistic kind of ape-like creature. He's definitely leading an army. Where? I don't see an army. I see him, and it looks like he killed his own army, if anything. Where do you see an army? All I see is a bunch of carcasses. Ain't no army, man. Those are dead bodies. Rob KDM specifically says war paint. Their images on his page. Okay. I didn't say it wasn't. I just said it could be the light or it could be war paint. You don't have to go reach on Twitter to prove me wrong. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just not agreeing 100%. That's all. If he's leading an army, I'm leading a pack of wolves. Yeah, I don't think he's. I mean, again, I'll go back to the synopsis. It says one monster. There's no mention of an army there. Maybe we'll get a flashback during the war. Maybe he did lead an army, but as of right now, it's just him, and it's pretty evident in the trailer. It's just him. Well, Jack, apparently he posted a high contrast picture that makes it that you can see without its paint. It's a larger killer ape from the movie Congo. Well, colossal threat, singular, not colossal threats. That's how you can deduce it's one monster.
Hey, Dad. Dad, look.
Silly boy. Any chance the villain could be radioactive? I would say there's a very good chance, considering he's got the same radioactive blue hue that Godzilla does. That's why I was thinking about having something like Primordial into the MonsterVerse for this movie, because the Primordials and Greek myths were much larger than Titans and more powerful. It could be something like that then. Yeah, if that's what you were trying to explain. Colossal threat is a bit vague. It could mean anything at this point. I think it means what it says it means, a colossal threat. A colossal threat is one thing. If it was more than one thing, it would be colossal threats. I think it's saying exactly what it means. A colossal threat. It's one colossal threat. Please, God, no flashbacks. The only thing interesting about the Kong Godzilla war is its mystery. When an animal becomes cannibalistic and it keeps feeding like that, it becomes lanky like that ape. All those bones could be its prior meals, and it could have gained the radioactivity from eating Godzillas. I like where your head's at, Azure Realms. That's what's been flowing through my mind. With that said, I do agree with what somebody else said in chat where they're not going to really show any blood, but they can easily get by that by just changing the blood color. That's usually all you have to do in a movie if you want to, if like you're doing like a monster type movie and you want to have a little extra violence in there, but you don't want to get an R rating, you just switch the color of the blood. That's all. Colossal could just mean more than just the scale of the monster. It could. It could. I just feel like it's not hard to deduce that I think Colossal represents size. If you're going to have Godzilla and Kong fighting a monster together, it's not going to be a monster their size. It has to be something that could literally overpower them. It's got to be something that they have to take down together. Mechagodzilla was bigger than Kong and Godzilla. Now, Colossal tells me that this monster is probably going to be a little bigger than that. Again, right now, and look, this is just me. I'm not trying to take the fun away from you guys if you want to like over speculate, but I'm taking everything at face value and surface level. Colossal threat to me means one big monster. This trailer right here shows me that is the villain. And until we get more information, that's all I can deduce. Now, I can speculate to high hell. And we'll do that. But for right now, this came out today. I need to when I get into my speculation mode, it takes time. I gotta kind of really think about things. Right now, I just want, for me personally, I'm keeping a surface level. The other reason I like to do that is because every time a MonsterVerse movie comes out, people overhype and overspeculate to the point that they get disappointed. And while we can criticize every Godzilla movie or the Kong movies up and down because they all deserve criticism, you have to take some accountability for overthinking what you want to see versus what they're providing. There has to be a balance. You know what I mean? This is why I kind of roast people who, when they say, "Oh, Kamakaris and this and that," because it's like, really, like, is that where your mind's really going? You really think you're gonna get that? We're on the 5th movie now. We haven't gotten that yet. Why would we get it now when they gotta up the stakes? If you're gonna up the stakes, you're not gonna downgrade. If you wanted Kamakaris and Kumanga, like, Godzilla 2014 would have been the perfect time to do it. Not towards the end game of the MonsterVerse. You're not going to bring in a monster like Kamakaris. And if you do...
Bobby Reynolds super chatted $5. How close would this big bad monster high compare to the Godzilla Earth height?
Well, I don't know if it'll be that big. Thanks for the 5, Bobby. And even if you were to bring in Kamakaris now, you wouldn't use him for anything more than a 5-second cameo. But then you got to counter that by saying, well, is Legendary willing to use some of their budget money to pay for that? Is it worth it? And the answer is no. I'm messing with his photo in Photoshop. His skin looks gray and white and decayed. He looks super old. Okay, so now you're saying it's not face paint, or you maybe, I don't know, maybe you're using too many filters to make it look that way? Because just a second ago you were telling me it was red and face paint. Now you're telling me he's gray and white? Colossal means gigantic, yes. What he was saying before is that he thinks that that's their way of expressing the size of the threat versus the size of the monster. And I get that. That's understandable. I'm taking it as that's the size of the monster. They're trying to represent the kind of monster they're going to fight is going to be colossal. Now, it could mean both. It could mean that the monster is colossal, and in turn, as is the threat. So it could be very well that me and him were both right. I think this Kong is a survivor from the massive war when Godzilla and Kong teamed up against the winged Godzilla Titan. Just saying. Okay, that winged Godzilla Titan is not canon. That is from an art book here. In other words, it's a concept. There was a war. If you read the Godzilla novelization in the beginning of the book, Dr. Eileen Andrew does go into more detail about that war than she did in the movie, but she never speaks about a main villain. All she talks about is that the Kong faction fought the Godzilla faction, and that's it. That flying out, put it out right now. Yeah, that monster is not canon. I think people need to kind of, I'm not trying to sound like a dick here. I'm just giving you guys the facts. That's all I'm doing. But people really need to kind of, now look, that doesn't mean it won't be in the movie. Okay? It doesn't mean that it won't pop up, and maybe that is a Space Godzilla. Maybe it, no one knows. We don't know. But I got to go with what I know to make the best, to deduce the best outcome that I can without knowing all the details. I got to take what I know from the past and apply it to this 30-second trailer and come up with the best possible outcome. I'm willing to bet that as of right now, that flying kaiju that you're talking about and everybody else is talking about and that they think is Space Godzilla or whatever, that is not going to have, or in any way, shape, or form, play a factor in this movie. In fact, I'm more convinced now that it won't because we see the monster right in front of us. As of right now, if you're taking it at surface level, here it is. Okay, so this monster right here that everybody's been up in arms about. Oh, wrong way. All right. So you guys all see that. This is from the art book. The art book contains concept art. All right. It contains concept. Concept means this might be something we were thinking about before. This is an idea we had. It didn't make it to the writer's room. So we drew it. Let's make it worth something. Let's put it in the book and sell it. The chances of anything in a concept art book coming to fruition in a movie is very slim. 9 times out of 10, it does not happen. Doesn't mean it can't. Doesn't mean it won't, and it doesn't mean it won't show up in this movie. But I would keep that in the back burner and don't give yourself any expectation of seeing it, because as of right now, until we get more information, the chances of seeing that play out in this movie, especially after this 30-second trailer, is slim to none. Very slim to none, because you pretty much, again, as far as we can tell, you pretty much got the villain right in front of you, and as you can see, it is not a flying Godzilla.
You are one awesome motherfucker. Big cock tipped $5. Guys, fuck. The evil monk is a flying monk fuck from Wicked Witch of the West. Holy shit, wiggle my fingers and tickle my cock.
Thanks for the 5. This orangutan is not the main villain. I'd be shocked if this really is the villain.
You are one awesome motherfucker. The Fenris Wolf tipped $5. I'm gonna estimate he will be around 355 feet to 375 feet tall. Since Kong is 335 feet and Godzilla is 393 feet tall. Unless both Godzilla and Kong get bigger, that is my estimate. Big enough to make Kong look small and big enough to give Godzilla hell.
Thanks for the 5, Fenris. Now, where'd you get that estimate? Like, where's the starting point for that estimate? I do agree. He will be bigger. That was the concept art of Godzilla. After drinking Red Bull, he grew wings. That I'm more inclined to believe that than to believe it was SpaceGodzilla. At the end of the day, at the moment, the teaser was, the villain is a downgrade. Anyone? Okay, dude. I don't want to say it. That's just rude. All right, I'll keep going. I'm not upset at your opinion. Your opinion is fine. It's just, I don't think I've ever read a positive comment from you in any way, shape, or form regarding anything. Not just entertainment, anything. And I'm just concerned if life is good at any point. That's all. Orangutan sweep. Zimzilla and James need to meet up. What if this Godzilla became Super Godzilla? Well, he might need to, right? I was thinking the same thing, Rob. LOL. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you have to say anything positive about this. Like, that's fine. You're not the only one to have that opinion. A lot of people are not happy and calling it an orangutan. Some people calling it King Louie from Jungle Book. I'm just wondering if there's any middle ground, if there's anything ever positive you have to say. It's not a bad thing to see some positivity. Like, believe me, we always hear people just splurt out their opinions, and most of the time people have opinions that are more on the negative side, but there's always that break in between where they might see something they like or say something good. I have no recollection of you ever saying anything positive about anything at all in all facets of life as far as I know. Do you think a villainous group could have had a hand in the beast, like maybe splicing DNA of Godzilla and Kong that turns on them and Zilla Kong has to take them down? I wouldn't rule it out. When you consider that in the novels, the idea of splicing or using DNA from the Titans was mentioned. Is it possible that an organization like Apex, while looking for this power source in the last movie, had discovered this, or somebody from Monarch higher up knew about this and decided to mess around with it and has been keeping it on? I mean, that's a possible story beat. I wouldn't rule that out. Well, I'm not. Some other people are. You were positive? Oh, were you? Okay, I don't remember. You know what it is? Batman is forgettable to me. So I know a lot of people like the movie. I thought it was mediocre at best. So anything regarding the Batman, I just, it's like taking a shit. It just goes, flush down the toilet. But okay, all right, I'll give you that. It's not going to meet expectations. Everyone is disappointed. It's just kind of played out at this point. No, well, there, I agree with you. I agree. That's why I try to, I don't want to say shut that down, but I try to bring people down a peg, not because you don't want to ruin your own experience by letting your own excitement overtake your mind and you're envisioning a movie that's just not going to be there when you go watch it. You know what I mean? Like you just, and you would think by now people would learn, but they just don't. What? Check my mentions. Dude, there's so many different social medias I use. Mentions where? Discord, Twitter, Facebook, what? All we know is big orangutan. What does the new empire mean? A new empire sounds like it could be a conflict with this monster and Kong to take over the Hollow Earth. And then from the Hollow Earth, it tries to take over the surface. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that would be a new empire. Because right now, it's pretty, without saying it, it's pretty well established that Kong, his empire is the Hollow Earth and Godzilla's empire is the surface. A new empire would be both. And this monster looks like that's what it's going for. It would be cool if he's a gargantuan. That's like the 6th time we've heard that. Yeah, it won't be a gargantuan, but yeah. Like every time I see everyone here speculate, my mind is like, write books, mod games, making art. Some of y'all have hype ideas. Don't waste it on, yeah, right? Godzilla and Kong have a relation since it says Godzilla X Kong shipping. Well, Godzilla, the X in the movie title when it's two individuals means cohesion or collaboration. In other words, it's like saying Godzilla and Kong without saying Godzilla and Kong. Because that sounds stupid. Everybody agrees. So you put X to represent the and. And it looks cooler and sounds cooler. And it also makes it clear that this is them not fighting again. Night, buddy.
That looks like a man with long arms and he's like really furry.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe it's a big man. Maybe it's a giant Bigfoot.
Maybe it's, oh! You're giving me ideas. It's Bigfoot, everyone. Tell your stream is Bigfoot.
Night, sweetie.
Hashtag Kong Bigfoot.
Not excited? Yeah, it's too early. Even if you're not excited, that's fine. It's too early. I mean, the excitement for this, for me and some other people, is just the fact that we got some news. But yeah, the true excitement won't come until you see a trailer, until you get a little bit more context. X is the pronoun for kaijus. Oh God. No. Colossal is what I'm naming the monster for now, before we get an official name for the creature. I'm just hoping no more future tech from Monarch. You're going to get your future tech. Mentions on Twitter? Okay, hold on. Let me check. Okay, whoa. Clearly war paint. You wanted me to go there just for that? I thought we established that already. What else? Maybe you can tell me specifically what it is you want me to see. All right, so what KDM said was there are more than 3 monsters in the movie. He never said 3 villains. So, and that is pretty obvious. Godzilla, Kong, the new villain, and then whatever monsters they decide to show in the Hollow Earth. So pretty simple. All right, so yeah. So this is the high definition picture you're talking about? That we talked about? War paint? Okay. I mean, it's probably. Wait. What was? Oh shoot. Would you? What would happen if in the first scene where they encounter this, they're like Godzilla steps up, he roars, And then Kong steps up and he's like, "Arr!" And then this monster steps up and goes, Amy, kick your ass. Was that the name of the gorilla in Congo? The one that spoke through the thing? Was it Amy? Can't remember. But that's what I was going for.
Red fur boy.
Tickle Amy. That would be so random but funny. I'm calling that this monster will give Godzilla and Kong the middle finger. Yeah. Oh, it was Amy? Okay, good. My memory served me correct. I haven't seen that movie in years. That would be some funny shit. Amy mutated. It should be Godzilla x Kong. Amy's Revenge. Never actually watched Congo. It's okay. It's not like it's kind of stupid, but it's also kind of fun, like kind of entertaining. Like it's dumb, but it's entertaining. I said, put down my sesame bread. He has no style. He has no grace. This Kong is no longer has a funny face. Yeah. Rob, are you more hyped for Godzilla x Kong or the new Toho Godzilla film? I'm hyped for both, to be quite honest. There's no one over the other. I guess I would say Toho a little bit more because we're closer to getting that. But we haven't gotten anything on that either, so. The trailer for Congo is better than the movies. It actually was. I know you said don't expect anything for the rest of the year, but a 40-second teaser at Comic-Con or around the Toho movie release would make sense. I don't think they would do it around the Toho movie release. That would kind of take away that would kind of take away some of the momentum for the Toho movie. You don't want to draw away attention from that. And they're in good business with Toho now, so I don't think you'll get one around that time. There's always an outside chance for Comic-Con. You never rule that out. But if I'm a betting man, I'm telling you, man, I think it's going to be a couple of weeks right after the show. Or they'll do a special promo. They'll be like, stay tuned to the season finale to watch the first trailer for... Oh my God, Apple would be very smart to do that. Have an exclusive 6-hour window where they debut the trailer on Apple Plus right after the show and hold it there for a couple of hours before releasing it online. If Apple could work a deal out like that, yeah, you would have some crazy motherfuckers signing up for Apple maybe just to see that trailer. It might be a free subscription, but then, you never know, there's a chance somebody browses around, they see something you want to watch, blah, blah, blah. Who's to say this Titan isn't an ally? Who's to say the Titan isn't an ally? I think the fact that there's a bunch of carcasses in front of it, that the surrounding is red, and then there's a Godzilla and a Kong skull not too far from the other carcasses, pretty much signals that he ain't such a great guy. I don't think they'll be half the height, but I think they will be smaller. Oh, yeah, somebody will repost. Yeah, but the trailer views, I mean, they're going to get their views one way or the other. Apple, write that down, Patrick. I mean, I don't think Legendary would agree to it, but it wouldn't hurt to ask, right? Apple right now needs all the help they can get. The Apple Plus intern is stealing that idea as we speak. I put my theory on the Nation. Hope you check it out. All right. I'm pretty sure a monster boneyard is an indicator who the villain is. Exactly. Thank you. He looks he looks friendly enough. It says free candy all over the corpses. Yeah, I think you see where everybody's going with that comment of yours. I think you have to pay attention to the surroundings to give you at least a little hint as to where this monster's going. I'll tell you one thing. If a lot of what you guys are saying is right, let's say he's like an ally, or let's say he's like turns out to be everything people are speculating, it would be the worst promotion of a movie ever. I mean, it's one thing to misdirect. It's another thing to outright lie. You know what I mean? Yeah, the world serpent, right? Rob, just checking in now. What do you think a new empire means? I hope this doesn't go kaiju-sized Planet of the Apes on us. No, I think what it means, I said this a little while ago, but I'll say it again. I think the idea is that Kong's empire is the hollow earth. Godzilla's empire is the surface. This monster is supposed to be a new colossal threat. And a new empire would be him defeating them both and taking both the hollow earth and the surface. I think that's how I look at it. Given there's no other context, going by the synopsis and going by the little mini tease, that's the best I could come up with right now. I think this is Kong's villain, while there's another Titan hidden within the hollow earth for Godzilla to fight. I mean, there's always a chance of that. But when you consider they're supposed to be teaming up to fight this thing, I don't think you have time for two villains. I really don't. I really do think what you see is what you're getting. I do think what you see, because look, if this guy is a side hustle, if he's just a side villain, why are you going to give him such a huge setup like this? That's just a waste of time. Like, I mean, this is, when you think back to setting up villains, I mean, this is pretty ominous about what this guy's all about. I mean, that is, look at all these I mean, this is, put it this way. What I'm saying is I don't get side villain vibes from this. I don't get side villain vibes from this. The vibes I get from this is that this is one badass motherfucker and it's going to take two kaiju to take him down. That's the vibes I get. It does go very hard. It's just odd that they would spoil the main villain this early. No, it's not. The first ever King of the Monsters trailer showed King Ghidorah. All right, the Godzilla 2014 trailer showed the Muto. Godzilla vs. Kong trailer showed Mechagodzilla. So why is this any different? Rob, I found a higher definition image of the ape shown in the teaser. It should be in your mentions. Jesus Christ. Guys, are we really spending time on Photoshop tonight with images of high definition? Oh, you're talking about this one? Oh, this looks... I mean... I mean, I'll show it. It doesn't... You know, it looks better from this angle than right in front of my face. Right in front of my face, this looks like a blur. I mean, yeah, I mean, but you can see that. You can see that in the trailer. You can see his legs, his arms. So, I mean, this is just showing slightly more than what we can already see. HD 48K. Yeah. HD 8K crystal clear. It looks like some phone art filter. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with what appears to be more agile villain. Imagine those dodging skills. You think they care about spoilers? 2014 showed the atomic breath, and King of the Monsters showed burning Godzilla. Whoa, 2014 didn't show the atomic breath. No. That was left for the end of the movie. They didn't spoil that. I believe me. I've seen every trailer, and they did not show. I remember that clearly because when it happened in the movie, I was surprised. Not because I didn't expect to see it. I was wondering when it was going to happen. And trust me, back in that time, 2013, 2014, I covered everything. Nah, they never showed it. They did show burning Godzilla in 2019, which was stupid. Rob, you think this Kong is going to have Godzilla powers and Kong IQ and agility? I mean, it seems like that might be a possibility. I mean, his eyes are glowing blue, so I wouldn't rule it out. I think it'd be weird, to be honest. Oh yeah, Godzilla falling from the sky. That was insane. That's actually a good question, Garrett. If it's Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire, do you think this new ape monster Titan can do an alpha call like Ghidorah did? I think that's a good question. I'm not sure, but maybe he can if he's that much of an alpha. But then again, so is Kong, and Kong can't. Well, as far as we know, he can't do it. I don't think he's ever tried. Kong himself is more an introvert anyway, so I don't think he would care to summon all the monsters. I think he'd rather just be left alone.
Are you okay?
What happened? I don't know what to do, buddy.
Take him out because that's his poop box. Okay. You know what? Come with me. What happened? Nothing. He's fine. Don't tell me.
Could Godzilla do an alpha call? He did it at the end of King of the Monsters. Godzilla 2014 got me back into Godzilla in a big way. Still my favorite movie in the Monsterverse. Yeah, I would say 2014 is still my favorite. My son is just frustrated because the cat keeps bothering him and he's trying to sleep. The cat's very playful, so he'll like sprint and jump. And my son's laying down, so he'll jump on my son. And then like, he doesn't like scratch or anything. He's a cat. And cats are nocturnal. So. He's handling it better than I would. I would have punted that shit across the room. That's horrible. No, I wouldn't have. Hey, Rob, what if this new monster has a tail like a baboon? Then I guess it has a tail. I mean, we don't know. You have a good meme on Twitter? Leave it to Vanisher. He sees me look at one Twitter post and he's like, oh, it's my opportunity. Okay. And opportunity was wasted. It's an okay meme, I guess. All right. That's it for me. We're going to call it. I actually sit on longer, pretty much 2 hours. Wasn't supposed to be a 2-hour stream, but it turned out to be one anyway. All right. We'll obviously talk more about this weekend, guys. So it's only Wednesday. We've got Thursday and Friday. There is a chance there will be no stream on Friday. But we'll double down on Saturday because there is a playoff game on Friday that I kind of want to watch. So, Rob, you are 43 years old. Yes, I'm 43. All right. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys this weekend. We'll obviously talk more about this. And who knows? Maybe more information will come out. Yeah, exciting times. All right. We knew that this was going to happen at some point. Finally got the title. I don't expect much news in this movie over the coming months, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start getting more promotion for the show. But if we do get more news, then great. Be more stuff to talk about. All right, guys. Thanks for showing up. And I'll talk to you guys this weekend.